So we're going to keep moving along. I have another beautiful speaker coming up next. And the beautiful thing about this speaker is she is not only a fierce leader, but she is an executioner. And that came out wrong. She is an action taker. That's a better choice of words, right? That's a better choice of words. See, I was just testing you guys to see if you were up. Are we up? It's been a long day, I know. So anyway, so the beautiful thing about Corinne is she has been a high performer, and I feel that she's probably always been like this. In just her first 6 years of business, she did over $100 million in business. That's crazy, right? Or was it one? It was 100 million, right? Yes, and so amazing production. Not only that, her team, the Be Infinite group, in just their first year alone, they did over 130 transactions and 50 million in volume. Pretty impressive numbers, right? And that's because she built a business from prospecting and doing the hard work. So she's done the hard work today to be here with you. So please help me welcome to the stage, Corinne DeFilippis.
Bring it to his feet.
Hello, hello, everyone. Hello, Michael Collier. I hear you in the back. All right, so in the next 10 minutes, I'm going to challenge the way that you measure your life. And I believe when you leave this room, you're going to feel peace for where you are. You'll feel power for where you're going. And you will feel that faith that the ripple you're in is not random. We all have rocks. What's a rock, you ask? The diagnosis, the fear, the rejection, the failure, the loss. And that water, that's life. But the ripple is movement, it's growth, it's legacy. But without the rock hitting the water stays still. And I'm going to share with you my very first rock in life. When I was 4 years old, I was diagnosed with a rare tumor to the spinal cord. It's called a pilocytic astrocytoma tumor. It's 1 in a million in children, and it was the size of an eggplant in my spinal cord. This is my doctor, Dr. Mark Sudane, from New York, because that's where I'm from, and he saved my life. At the ages of 4, 5, and 6, back-to-back surgeries, and after that came chemo, radiation, platelet transfusions. Not your average childhood, right? And the next 18 years were spent in and out of hospitals. Many people told me who I wouldn't be, what I wouldn't accomplish, what my identity should be. But I couldn't control the rock. So why was I going to let it control my identity? Now, fast forward to college. I went to University of Central Florida to be a criminal justice major, because I believe in real estate, we fight crime, right? Now, by a show of hands, how many of us ended up going to college and majoring in something that was not real estate? Like literally everyone in the room. So I had plans. Go to college, get a job, live life, right? We all have that plan. And on September 1st, 2016, I was given a job in the Department of Justice. And 4 hours later, I was diagnosed with cancer. At 22 years old, another rock, another ripple. But the ripple wasn't against me. It was preparing me. Because what felt like interruption after interruption after interruption was actually a formation. And if that day didn't happen, I wouldn't be on this stage today. Because of that day, I ended up getting literally any job I could. So I got a job in homeowners insurance. I know, sexy, right? But because I was in homeowners insurance, I learned of a skill set I didn't know I was capable of, which was outbound prospecting. So at 22 years old, I've been on the phones day in and day out. And then when I went into real estate, I went back on the phones day in and day out. And not only was the last 6 years $100 million in sales, it's not only hundreds and thousands of lives impacted. It's my family and my future family's lives that were impacted. All because of one day that looked like a bad day, but really it was forming me. And many of you have rocks too, right? But many times we wait. So what do we wait for? We wait for perfection, but perfect isn't going to come. We wait for people, but people are unpredictable. And we wait for pain-free, but we just established that we need the pain. We need the rock because without the rock hitting the water stands still. And recently, I witnessed what a lifetime of ripples look like. And whenever you do need to move forward, though, this is how you move to see that in that lifetime. Move with presence, move with purpose, and move with perpetual impact. Now, presence is fully inhabiting the moment that you're in, not dwelling in the past over things that you can no longer change, and not foreshadowing the future over events that you can't control, but being present and being present here now. And when you're exceptionally present, you start to learn your purpose. And every single one of you has a purpose. Everyone. And purpose is when who you are aligns with what you're building. That's purpose. And perpetual impact, that's when what you're building in this lifetime is here when you're no longer in the room. This is Poppy. He's my best friend, my grandpa, and the man who raised me. And in July, we celebrated his 100th birthday. I know. A milestone that less than 1% of the globe will ever be able to accomplish, but he did. How? Some may say destiny, fate, luck. And when you get the privilege of watching someone make it to that age, you learn a thing or two. Poppy never chases the big house, the shiny car, the luxury brands. In fact, he tells me every day, everything is replaceable but a human life. Everything. He stresses over nothing. He has no resentment in his heart. And he forgives everyone, even when they don't deserve it. And this man loves every single human from the bottom of his heart. And there are two words that I never hear him say. I'm tired. And 3 months ago, 2 weeks before Christmas, he said, I'm tired. And my mom said, it's okay, Daddy. You can sleep now. 100.5. And that week, my next rock hit, and I laid my best friend to rest. And though Poppy's not physically with me anymore, he lives in me. His legacy lives in me. So I ask you this question. What are you building that outlives you? What will echo as a result of you being here? They say time heals all, but I don't actually believe that. time hardens. If you never give your rock meaning, it's bitterness. But when you give it meaning, it's strength. My story didn't heal because of time. It healed because I chose what it meant. Now I'd like everyone to close their eyes. Imagine the day they gather to celebrate your life. The people you've loved, the people you've led, the people you've worked with. What are they saying? What are they saying? You can open your eyes. Align now with what you want to echo later. When you leave this room today, you have a choice. Serve with your story or suffer because of it. You give those rocks meaning. Because at the end of the day, I want you to leave this room feeling that peace, carrying that power, having that faith. Because peace, that's a choice. And that's a choice that my grandpa woke up every day choosing to feel. Success leaves clues, right? And he made it to 100.5. And I want to thank you all today for having me on the stage and listening to my message, because this is the first time I spoke of my grandpa since he had passed. And I know he's standing right here with me. And I hope you know that you have such purpose in this room. And we are all building our legacy now. Not tomorrow, but now. And when the next rock hits and the ripple moves, you move with it. Thank you.